it's halftime. It's 20-0. I was gonna wait to do a post game. I figured I'd do a halftime. And oh my god, hold on. I gotta get my notes. All right. So, all right. So, oh my god. All right. So the opening drive with Pittsburgh, the defense actually looked solid on the opening drive. I thought they came out. They were looking to stop the run. They looked pumped up. It was all good. And I don't want to say it's gone completely downhill because let's face it. They were on. I don't know what the exact stats are, but I would say that they were on the field for about 15 of the 30 minutes. It seemed like, or close to it. They were on the field for most of the first half. I'll get to the offense in a second, but they were on the field for almost the whole first half. So the fact that they held them to 20, I don't want to say it's the worst defense I've ever seen, but it is what it is. They came out looking good on the first drive. The offense, it looked like on their first opening drive. You did see a good rotation of the backs. You saw Connor come in. You saw Samuels come in. So seeing the running backs get rotated out, I'll get to that in a second. But seeing them rotated out, it looked pretty good at the start at least. On the Pats' second drive, they dink and dunk down the field. Caught the Steelers in some kind of stupid trick play. It's that kind of stuff. I mean, it's the Patriots. They do that kind of crap to catch people off guard, get a quick, easy, cheap score, which didn't surprise me. I don't think it probably surprised very many other people. I will say on that, there was piss poor tackling. I mean, that touchdown was almost given to him. Number 29, the free safety, the guy that's covering for Sean Davis, he looks like absolute trash. I don't know if it's just because Brady's picking on him, or if he just doesn't belong there, but he looks like absolute garbage. I mean, they've got to do something to give him some help because he's doing horrible in coverage, and he can't tackle. My God, he ran into Josh Gordon on that touchdown play and just said, oh, Josh Gordon just basically threw him off him and said, what was that? And walked right into the end zone. Horrible. Let's see. That deep pass that Ben threw, I think it was to Moncrief. He was definitely hooked on that play. I was freaking out when the commentators were saying it. They said, oh, well, that wasn't really pass interference. How the hell is he supposed to get his arm up when the guy's falling on top of it while he's going to the ground? I mean, that was clearly a hook on his arm. He had his arm over top of his arm on the backside and pulled down on it. How is that not pass interference? I don't care if the ball was coming at him. I don't care what their excuse is. That's pass interference. You don't hook somebody's arm and pull it down and say that wasn't pass interference. That's ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't challenge the play. Maybe they're afraid that the pass interference calls on the field, they're just going to stick with them. And they didn't want to lose the challenge. I get it. It was only the second drive, so I get why it wasn't challenged, but that was clearly pass interference. I don't know why it wasn't called. Then Connor couldn't get a freaking yard on a first down. I'll get more in detail on that. Colin, you know what? I wish I had like a feature on my TV where I could mute just Collinsworth. Just mute him. I don't mind listening to the other commentary. I don't mind listening to the sounds on the field. Even the Patriots fans going nuts. I cannot stand Collinsworth. My God, man. I mean, you might as well just have the guy get on his knees and start you-know-what into Tom Brady for crying out loud. I mean, jeez. The guy, oh my God, don't get me started on Collinsworth. We seriously were losing the field position battle early. I know we still got the same stinky punter that we've had. I don't know why they don't. I don't know. I still don't know why they haven't replaced him, but whatever. Anyway, uh, let's see. I know it was early. I know it was early on that drive to go for it on fourth down, but it was like fourth and like 2 inches. Me personally, I wouldn't have got mad if they went for it and didn't get it. I mean, for crying out loud, it's 20-0 now. What did they have to lose at that point? I guess it was kind of early. Tomlin was probably thinking it's too early to chance it at this point. But they punted it, and guess what? They ended up going down and scoring a touchdown anyway. So what did it matter? D held him to a 3-and-out. Let's see. That when the defense held them to a 3-and-out, that was a must-score drive for the offense. That was the point of the game where the defense stepped up, held them to a 3-and-out. Even if we only got a field goal on that drive, they had to go down and score. They had to get points on that drive, at least get on the board, get some momentum going before halftime. All right, and of course, they go 3-and-out. We didn't get it. All right, that was pretty much it, other than the field goal that they ended to put it up to 20. My keys to the game to this point, and I'll be honest with you, I see no way. We're talking about Belichick, the Patriots, and Brady. I see no way at this point of the Steelers being able to come back. At least make it to where it's not an embarrassment at this point is what I'm hoping for. I don't want to put too much stress on the defense as far as 20 points on the board, because they did play most of the half. I mean, they were on the field for most of the half. The offense wasn't doing nothing. But that being said, those last two drives that the Patriots had, no pressure whatsoever on Brady. No pressure. I mean, they had a wall. There was one play, they had like a 25-yard pass play downfield. We had 7 guys going in after Brady. Not one of them could break through the line. There's only 6 guys on the line blocking. You couldn't get one of them free to go in. It was like the entire defense mushed into the middle. No, but I mean, I don't know what Keith Butler's doing. If you notice, they're playing a lot of man. They're playing a lot of man. And it's obviously not working out very well for him defensively. I mean, Brady's just basically dinking and dunking, going downfield and just picking his targets in certain coverage situations. But the only way that man's going to work is if you get to Brady. That's the only way that it's going to work. And the Pittsburgh's front 7 are not getting there. TJ Watt, he's being double-teamed on every play. Every single play, they've got at least 2 men on him. One chipping and then one blocking on every single play. Dupree had a great preseason. Dupree's coming out of his shell. I haven't seen him get off of a single block. He's been single man on blocks the entire game. And he hasn't been able to shed around the blocks. It's absolutely absurd. And he's going up against a backup. Well, maybe not a backup, but the guy that was replacing the starter or something. It's not it's a new guy at the position for whatever reason. I don't follow the Patriots. I just know that he is not the guy they had there at left tackle last year. And he can't get around him. That's insane. You've been in the league for 5 years. Get around the freaking blocks. You're being single covered. You're not even being chipped. They're doing that to our main rusher on the other side. You should be able to get through. The only good play I saw in the last 2 drives was from Hargrave on that last play before they kicked the field goal, when he just freaking bulldozed over top of the center. That's the only good part of the pass rush we've seen all night. And you saw what happened. Brady got rushed. He tried to get up into to the pocket and threw an errant pass. And that's another thing too. Earlier in the game, there were 2 passes Terrell Edmonds could have picked off. 2. And he didn't take advantage of it at all. I mean, that's two times that we could have turned the game around just off of interceptions if he would have picked off the passes. Terrell Edmonds needs to get the interceptions. They've worked on this the entire offseason. We need to get more turnovers. And everybody knows once the Patriots get a lead, the harder and harder it is to get them to do something stupid. They will protect the ball, and they will only do high percentage plays to just basically keep the clock rolling and dink and dunk downfield. They're not going to give you the opportunity to get a turnover later in the game if they've got the lead. That's why I say at this point, I've been watching the Patriots and Steelers play my entire life. Okay, I've seen this so many times. I already know how this is going to go out. There's no way that Pittsburgh, barring the Patriots, which is highly unlikely, they go into this and start making really stupid mistakes. They're not going to. Pittsburgh's not going to win this game. But, excuse me, they can at least turn it into a non-embarrassing game and come back a little bit. Offensively, oh my God. And no, I am not going to say it's because AB is not on the field. Guys, we cannot run the ball. This has nothing to do with the wide receivers. They're catching the balls. There haven't been that many drops. I think Ben's only got like 2 or 3 incompletions. They can't run the ball. They haven't been able to run the ball the entire game. I mean, for crying out loud, it was like a 3rd and 1, and Connor couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. I honestly, while I was watching the game, I thought offensively and defensively, the Patriots knew exactly what the Steelers were doing on the field. As we were watching on that last drive, I even told, when they went 5 wide on that fourth and inches, or 4th and 1, I even told my wife, I said, they're not going to make it. I didn't even watch the play. I knew they weren't going to make it because of how the defense was set up. They knew exactly what was going to happen, just like I knew exactly what was going to happen. Ben had to throw it low and out to the side, and the defense was ready for it. I mean, if I'm sitting at home on my couch knowing exactly what the Steelers are about to do with a 5-wide set, don't you think the people on the field that are paid to do this also know? Anyway, my keys to the rest of the game for the Steelers, the offense needs to figure out a way to run the ball and control the game offensively, which means that the offensive line needs to frickin' block something, for crying out loud. There are no holes. And the defense, I think, needs to stay with what they're doing, but they have to put pressure on the quarterback. Keith Butler needs to mix things up, start doing some zone man schemes, and start blitzing, maybe not fully blitzing Brady, but throw stuff at him that he's not expecting. They have to get to him. Otherwise, they're just going to keep running up and down the field. I'll see you guys after the game.